Thank you, Senator Marshall, Senator Ernst, for having us today and to allow us to tell the world about Russian aggression against Western civilization and how it creates a global food crisis. You are right saying that Ukraine's contribution is equivalent to feeding about 400 million people, not counting Ukrainian population. So every second to third piece of bread they are produced from Ukrainian wheat in Africa and Middle East. So this is really important. You are right that we are #1 sunflower oil production, and by the way, one of the factory of American company you mentioned, so the factory was in Donetsk, and after Russian military aggression in 2014, what they did, they destroyed $18 million investment. So this is how Russians, they brought destruction, devastation, and actually they're destroying not just investment, they're destroying people's life. So this is why today when we are talking about also important, this is what I brought from Vinnytsia region. This is small company, small family business. They produce these hearts, these cookies, and also honey, and like also asking, Hannah, could you please bring us to Ukrainian armed forces more weapons, more military assistance, that we could return back to feed the world, because this is really important. And I thought, okay, and this is like with love, and they wrote here, the time of Ukraine is come and the victory will be coming. So we are here just to show that victory is coming to Ukraine. And thanks for having given us access to the Congress, because actually what we prepared a PowerPoint presentation, and we have videos how now farmers are taking out some artillery and rockets from the fields. So actually you could share, and also presentations about food and general price inflation. You were right mentioning famine, and actually about kids which will be suffering in Africa. And you know the story of Ukraine, survival in the last century during the 2 world wars, and actually when Stalin organized the artificial hunger, famine, genocide against Ukrainians. We were known as a bread basket of Europe, of the world. And this was the way of punishment from Stalin regime to kill all Ukrainian nation. What Putin is doing now, because all this cult of Stalin within 22 years of Putin's leadership. So this is why everything what you've seen in Bucha, all these war crimes, all these dead bodies of women, families, how they burned, raped women, and even kids, girls, 11 years old, raped. So this is like, because this culture of genocide from Stalin to Putin hasn't disappeared. So this is why victory of Ukraine is important for food security, but the most important to tell the world that Ukraine is a spiritual basket of the year, because the fighting spirit of Ukrainian armed forces, the fighting spirit of our territorial defense and our nation are so high. So we came here because we believe in God. And in Bible, in Matthew 7:7, it's written, knock the door, and the door will be open to you. So we came, and thanks to both senators, that they opened their doors for us. But we want American leadership, the president, your National Security Council in particular, who don't understand, and not mentioning genocide, which is happening now. So what we need now, so world will face starvation, hunger riots, refugee migration without Ukrainian food supply. And there is no sufficient alternative to cover this. This is why we need to faster way to win this war. And actually another important reason, and I hope your State Secretary during his visit to Europe, he will convince European partners, NATO partners, to do more for us. Unblocking of Ukrainian seaports, it's a key for world food security. Action to be taken urgently. International pressure on Russia, more sanctions, tougher sanctions, escalation of the problem via major food buyers, China, Turkey, Egypt, embargo and blockade of Russian sea exports, and also provision of powerful anti-ship weapons to Ukraine. And of course, support by US Navy and Royal Navy UK to clear Black Sea from mines and minesweepers. So this is really important, because when everybody is saying that they take care about Ukraine, so we need actions now, because within these 40 days, of course, it's great to hear that Putin is a war criminal, but it's not enough for Ukrainian armed forces, which are now in eastern Ukraine, in Donbass, in Kherson regions. So this we have to protect the Black Sea, we have to protect Ukrainian nation, and give us, as Churchill said, give us the tools and we will do the job. So this is what we need, and thanks to senators for supporting us. But within the next 2 weeks, this is very important, because Russian army is very demoralized. So we, within these 42 days, we demonstrated how we are defending our nation, how we, Ukrainian armed forces, is a real and true European armed forces. And we don't understand why Polish fighter jets are not in Ukraine yet. So all these people from Vinnytsia, who are now thinking how to plant, the planting season is at risk. So they are asking, please bring us more military assistance. Bring our army, ammunition, tanks, fighter jets, anti-tank missiles, and even to switch off Russia from GPS, because they